So I'm at Algeciras port, and in the background you can hear all the trucks lined up here, and they're all beeping because it's so busy here they can't get out. And Algeciras port is the fourth busiest port in Europe, so it handles everything from cargo, petrochemicals, foot passengers, and unfortunately narcotics. So you can see here the main station is just up here. You have the cranes for handling the cargo up there, and you have all the queues of these trucks, cargo trucks, coming out, possibly going in. I'm not sure what direction they're taking because there's also a queue coming up this way, and I can just see here how busy it is compared to yesterday. So they're probably making up for being stuck over in Tangiers, Africa, or else maybe Kuwait in Africa, or on the tip of Africa, but it's the Spanish settlement that I visited, and you'll have to go watch that vlog if you're interested. On the waterfront you can see here all these high-rise apartment blocks and businesses. So here I'm a bit closer to where all the trucks are coming in, bringing their cargo to North Africa. And Algeciras itself, I've spent about a day here. It was really wet yesterday, but it's not a town. It's in the Andalusia region, which is famous for its Malagas, its Marbellas, all these kind of places. But this town, Algeciras, is nothing like that. It's not built for pretty looks, it's not built for tourism. You can see there in the background the high-rise apartments. They're not overly well kept. It's a town for utility purposes. It's to serve places like this. So all this kind of activity that's going on here, it's a transport and logistics hub. You have some ferries over here again, some more cranes unloading the cargo, freight containers, and tens of millions of cargo containers pass through this terminal each year. And this side is just one of the sides. The actual terminal, or the port, goes way on over to the left and way on over to the right. On the left, I noticed on the way in as I was coming back from Kuwait, there was a massive petrochemical processing plant, and that's just another one of the activities that goes on here. But for the town, it's mostly people that work here. So there's so much traffic here, the lady's having to make sure that people are able to cross the road. She's organising the traffic, and she'll stop it then when she probably has enough people to pass.
Very much.
You see the police presence down there. This is the exit out onto the main town. So you'll see a different view of the port here, a better view of all these container cranes that are used to unload and load cargo ships, and the city behind me provides the workers for out here. There's about 120 people living in Algeciras, which is the biggest port in the Campo de Gibraltar region, which is kind of the overarching name for the region down here in Andalusia, the Cadiz province in Andalusia. And its main industry is, of course, port activities. So you have people driving cranes, people driving boats, people working in the logistics of it, supply chain. You have ground workers, labourers. You have people probably working in cafes and shops here. possibly even hotels and Airbnbs that will house the temporary people that come in. And of course there's tourists like myself, but not many choose to stay in Algeciras for long because there's not much to do here, being very honest about it. Like I took a day trip to Quetta, I've been to Gibraltar. I only have a couple of hours here to play around with, which is why I'm making this video. And actually it's quite interesting to see all of this stuff. You know, the fourth largest port in Europe behind Antwerp and Rotterdam is no mean feat. And so, because of its strategic location and access to African markets, Algeciras is also one of the largest suppliers of drugs to the European market. So you have the credible legal activities coming in on the container ships, but you also have that layered with the illicit materials coming in, illegal materials through the container ships as well. I read a story from 2024 that the biggest drugs find in Spanish history was found at this very port. I think it was November. It was 13 tons of cocaine found in this port here. It was nestled in between a container ton full of bananas from Ecuador. So not only is it the North African markets that come through this port, but it's also the South American drug trade. And if you ever visit Algeciras, you'll notice one thing in this city that you'll notice more than in other cities is the amount of police presence here, especially around the terminal and exits out of the city. You see, I can see one up here in the distance in their van, but the extra added bonus of they nearly all have sniffer dogs with them. So I was at the bus terminal yesterday, I think I might have mentioned it in my Quetta vlog, and they had every bus that left or came in to the bus terminal, there was sniffer dogs with them. And there was actually a guy searched while I was there, but it turned out it was only cigarettes. Maybe he was smoking weed or something the night before. But yeah, so you know what they're looking for when they're bringing the sniffer dogs into the bus terminals and the ferry terminals. Just here you can see the container ships being loaded and unloaded by the actual cranes here, and it's absolutely fascinating because millions of these containers come in every year, probably thousands per day, and it just blows my mind how you can get that stuff correct, like how the logistics of it all works and the people in charge of it, how they actually manage it all. It's incredible. Now I'm sure they have sophisticated ways of doing it and they're very educated people, but still it's beyond me. It's fascinating. I did try and get some words out of the policeman. He tried, but he didn't have really any English, or at least he didn't understand me speaking English anyway. But yeah, look at that. Fascinating. So the helicopter is taking off up there again. The wind is blowing strong. Probably going out on some sort of a patrol. So it's just, the weather's after getting a bit nasty here, but I'm just looking in here where all of these trucks are parked, probably either waiting to go to North Africa or waiting to move further on in Europe, but it's probably just a bit of downtime for them. But you'll see lots of the truck drivers are sitting out on chairs having food, maybe with a truck driver they know, or else there's another person in the cab with them. But yeah, it's probably a long wait for them. You can see down there, guy standing with an umbrella, probably just stretching the legs. They probably have a big long spin to do once they get to Morocco, or else probably up into mainland Europe further. You never know really. where these people are going. And here's a look at the other side of the promenade. We have backdrop of the city of Algeciras. So many of these surveillance towers here as well, just in the middle. Through the back you can see the cranes. So everything's right on top of each other here. Very interesting place. The police presence is quite heavy. I'm seeing down here coming towards me now. I'm just going to swing the camera around and you'll see another police, border police coming down here, and they're just looking after and making sure everyone around is safe and making sure that there's no illegal activities going on. But I'm fairly sure that they're going on right underneath their noses. And I think we've all seen the movies. There's probably some crooked cops in the ranks as well. Now I won't point that slogan or point that slur at anyone in particular, but it's just a general thing. The police are probably paid, I don't know, an average wage here of 40 to 50,000 euros, or maybe less depending on the region of Spain they're in, plus some overtime. And I'm after watching a movie called The Rip recently on Netflix, a Matt Damon and Ben Affleck movie, and you know they talk about, or the theme of the movie is confronted with the opportunity to take millions away. Would you do it, given that you're only earning about 100 grand a year? And these people had the chance to take the bones of definitely over 2 or 3 million each, but they didn't. They stayed true to their guns, and they were able to figure out who the crooked cop was by the end of the movie. Really good premise for a movie, really good movie. But you're kind of thinking maybe that's what a lot of these border police, the port police are dealing with every day. Probably drug gangs paying them to let them into the port overnight under no supervision during the day. And there's another police car there, border police. A lot of females actually I see in the cars, but yeah, so they're probably confronted with the opportunity to accept the brown envelope, and if they keep their mouth shut, they'll get the job again. So behind me is like a row of cafes all down here, and it looks like any place you'd see in Marrakesh or Agadir or any of the Moroccan cities. It's all of these halal meat and kind of Moroccan cafes selling tagines and kebabs, and you really feel like you're in North Africa as opposed to Spain. And it's just here at this entrance of the port. Let's go explore the back streets a bit. You can see on the building up there the Moroccan flag, and it just goes to show just how many Moroccan people there is actually living here. I don't know what that building is, but definitely a big Moroccan influence. And look at this mural up here behind me on the wall. It's really nice. And the ones here on this wall, but look at this one. Nice. Let's go down these streets. It's a child playing with a guitar. Just as I was passing down them streets, there was a slight feeling of unease around there. I felt there was a lot of people standing outside of bars and barber shops and stuff like that. I just felt there was a lot of eyes, so it's better to keep the camera down when going through them places. Best not to draw attention to yourself, as I already probably stick out anyway. How pale I am. Okay, so Look at this place. What's this like? Okay, just like a plaza. Oh, nice. Okay. So Algeciras does have a pretty side. It's just quite hard to find. It's after opening out here into this nice kind of mosaic covered square, really well kept. Nice colours, nice green, blues. Nice church or bell tower. Church, I'd say. And orange trees. Nice, really nice. So, as you can see the port just down through here. What you have is an actual nice town centre as well. Really nice, pretty. Nice town centre. And there's a water feature there. Nicer than I would have thought. Another church here in the corner. By the looks of it, they probably need more mosques here. There's a definitely down near the port and on the street down by the bottom. There's a much more kind of North African Islamic feel, even with the food they're selling and eating. But yeah, this is a really nice area, and I think that's probably the perfect place to end the Algeciras video. And like I always say, if you're not following already, give us a follow, David Cotter, and bring you more geopolitical videos and some places that you probably have never heard of. Hola!